Now, can Nigel Farage win I'm a Celebrity? 0207 862 2222. We'd love to hear from you on this. The former UKIP leader has landed in Australia ahead of the new series starting on Sunday night. Last night, ITV released a clip announcing the 10 campmates entering the jungle, and Mr Farage used it as an opportunity to address the people who don't like him.
I'm Nigel Farage, and I'm known, of course, for politics, for Brexit, and I'm a hero to some people and an absolute villain to millions.
Like, classic Farage, isn't it? I'm known to millions of people. Like Brexit. What do you think, Lizzie?
Listen, to know Nigel is to love Nigel, and I think he's going to really sway a lot of the viewers that maybe don't like him, because he is a bit of a villain to some and he's a hero to others. But he was, he's been asked to do this show every year since 2016, and this year he's gone for it, and I think it's got to do with a little bit about the money. I'm hoping he's got a bank to deposit all this money.
Million. Yeah, he hasn't got a bank. Yeah.
He hasn't got a bank now. I think it's 1.5 million. It's one of the biggest ever earners on this show.
Tell us how you know Nigel.
Well, do you know what? I've known Nigel for about 20 years, can you believe? We met over a curry. We both love a hot chicken masala, and there we are together.
Yeah.
And, he helped me with James Well's kidney cancer charity,
right.
And he was very good, and he's very charismatic. When you talk to Nigel, he makes you laugh. He loves a pint, though he won't be drinking any pints in there. It'll be pints of fruit vomit or something.
It's funny because we've just been talking about David Cameron, who is Emily's brother-in-law. I'm just getting my relation. And of course, in a way, there's beef there, isn't there? Because Farage cost Cameron his whole career. He did, Emily, didn't he? He did.
Well, he left. He did walk out, didn't he, Emily? Cameron walked out.
Well, yeah, but because Farage, I suppose, in the end,
with
UKIP...
the Brexit.
Yeah, I know. Is there beef there in the family, Emily, or do you think your family will vote for Farage?
Will we vote for Farage? I think that's unlikely.
Okay. I like that you even...
I've met him. He's absolutely charming.
He is charming.
He's absolutely charming.
Well, he's probably the greatest political communicator since, well, I suppose you go Boris Johnson and Thatcher.
Well, that's
and Blair, actually. Those are the four.
And I tell you what, Rishi is watching this in fear, because if Nigel does do really well, he's worried. Because I think actually the Tory party do need Nigel Farage, I'll be honest. And Nigel's appealing to a lot of the younger audience.
You raise a very good point. And Darryl, we had this at the Tory conference, didn't we, where Farage turns up. I mean, Liz Truss got mobbed, so let's try and explain that. But Farage turns up, he's got a crowd around him for 2 days, and it suddenly dawns on people he's there because he wants to be leader if they get smashed.
Yeah. It's interesting to see it's interesting to sort of contrast that with David Cameron coming back, because, of course, that is a true reflection of what the Tory party has become, where it's moved to. I mean, let's not forget some of the more moderate voices. The Rory Stewarts, the Nicholas Soames, the Ken Clarks were expelled by Boris Johnson, literally expelled from the party by Boris Johnson. And so that's where the Tory party finds itself today, in contrast to David Cameron coming into cabinet. With regards to Nigel Farage being I'm a Celebrity to get me out of here, I mean, first Matt Hancock and now this. I mean, this sort of constant rush to platform characters who are divisive. I would actually go as far as to say that Nigel Farage has poured poison into public discourse, and that doesn't deny him a place on I'm a Celebrity to get me out of here, but I think we have to be careful constantly platforming the extremes.
Lizzie, did he pour poison when you were having your curry?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I'll tell you what, he's very entertaining, and he's going to reach out to a new audience. He's on TikTok. They call him the GOAT, the greatest of all time. He's got this new nickname. He got over 7
greatest
million...
What?
GOAT is called greatest of all time. That's what they call him on TikTok.
On TikTok?
On TikTok. Okay. And he does this rap saying Brexit means Brexit. And the younger generation, don't forget, it was, the Brexit vote was in, 2016. It's a long time ago. He's got this new wave of young people that are enjoying him, and I think he's going to reach out, and I think that's one of the reasons why he's gone on there. And he's 8-1 at the bookies. I just checked before I went on air that he could win this.
It's coming down. I'll just show you who else is on I'm a Celebrity. They probably feel a bit overshadowed by Mr Farage. So Josie Gibson is a presenter on This Morning. You've got Fred Sirio, who's the First Dates chef. Sam Thompson, who's made in Chelsea. Then Grace Dent, Master Chef, of course. Marvin Humes is there. JLS. Nella Rose is a YouTuber. This guy's a boxer. Tony Bella. Britney Spears is, I think,
Jamie
Lynn Spears' sister,
Spears.
cousin, sister.
Sister.
And this chap here is Nick
Hollyoaks.
Pickard. He's Hollyoaks. Then he's Frankie Dettori. Then we've got Danielle Harold, EastEnders. So you've got 2 soaps there, and then Farage there. Broderick in London. Would you vote for Farage, Brod?
Yes, I would. You know, I think he's a fun-loving looking geezer. He hasn't got a funny face, but he's got a fun face. And, you know, I always look at him as, you know, a well-respected man. When he is politics, he looks into what he's going to do. He does it seriously and then comes back and talks about it. But as I say, he's got the face to be on them sort of shows. I hope he does win.
Yeah, well, OK. So do you watch it normally, Broderick?
Not normally. I'm sort of on the the computer, looking at YouTube, what's going on, because I don't like watching too much of the politics of the politicians today, so I tend to keep away from that. But Farage, if he was going for Prime Minister, I would back him.
There we are. I wonder whether he's addicted to politics. He can't keep away.
But he's very strong mentally and he can get through the challenges. He might not be the strongest, he may not be the youngest, but he's mentally very strong.
Well, he survived a plane crash, which not many people have done.
He has done, and he survived the snakes in the European Parliament. But he's given up smoking, given up drinking.
Has he?
He's got himself fit and ready for this.
He's the same age as me. I'm just putting that in.
No.
Yeah. We're the same age.
And I thought you were 35.
No. I think we're both. He's not 60 yet, Farage. Kate is in Derbyshire. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Darryl.
Do you think this is great to see Farage on this?
No, I'm so anti-Farage. It's painful to talk about him. I did a production years ago of a play called The Irresistible Rise of Arturo Ui.
Oh, yeah.
And it was about a man who made himself into the man of the people. He learned how to be a man of the people. He changed his tone of his voice, his language, his movement, his dress, his manners, everything. And he conned, and it's obviously based on the rise of in the 1930s. When he worked in Europe, and I know this because I did some work over there, he went there 30% of the time, but he drew a full salary. And then he came over and he had this thing about wanting to get rid of Europe. Europe wanted to get rid of him. But he also, even now, he's taken £1 million. He's a man who wants glory.
1.5.
He's a narcissist in the manner of Trump, in the manner of Boris Johnson. And we are conned by this. And he might win, but it will be a cynical win.
Oh, gosh. Heavy words so lightly thrown, to quote Morrissey. Emily, would you defend him against that? No, probably not. No. Go on, Lizzie. It's over to you.
Listen, I say give him a chance. You know, when you see the real Nigel, I think people have got an idea of what he's going to be like, and he's conceited and this narcissist. But no, he isn't. And anyone, if you were offered that money, let's be honest, you'd take it.
We have seen so much Nigel Farage. He was never off the television for about a decade, was he?
Yeah, you'd love that if that was you.
Power show, every disproportionate amount of Nigel Farage in our lives over the last 10 years, which led us to the amount of division that we've had in the last 7 since Brexit. Do we need to see more Nigel Farage?
Well, you need to see the real Nigel.
Is he the same
It's not
for you?
about the real Nigel. We've seen the real Nigel. I'm sorry. What is not the real Nigel that
And if we haven't seen the real
in the
Nigel,
last
then
10
what
years?
have we seen?
He is a single-issue politician, which is immigration, immigration, immigration. He got Brexit. He's still banging on about immigrants. He's never going to stop. He's never going to have a proper answer for this country. He's on the far right. He comes extremely close to making incredibly racist comments about this country and the people that come here. If he had a broader set of policies for this country, many of us would take him seriously.
I like that.
But he is a single-issue politician. He is absolutely not fit to run the Tory party. He is not fit to run this country. And I hope the voters vote him out as soon as possible.
Wow, you were sitting there saying nothing for ages. I was thinking, have you drifted off and you suddenly launched a bazooka?
But this is great. Look, he's divisive, you know.
Why is that great?
Because some people agree with you.
It's good for telly. It's not good as a politician.
Some people agree with you, Emily, and others feel he's a hero and enjoy his company.
And that he gave voice to things that sort of the woke-righty won't say.
He says a lot of what people want.
But I enjoy his company.
All right.
He's just not a serious politician.
We've never seen him eat kangaroo testicles before.
All right. On that note,
that will be fun.